Grandpa Pig from Daddy's side. Peppa's family has a great relationship with Mommy Pig's side of the family. Her parents, Peppa's grandparents, appear often and even live nearby. But when it comes to Daddy Pig's side, the only relative we've ever seen is his brother. So where are his parents? Well, the fact that they've never shown up kind of hints that either they've passed away or live really far away. But what if it's a mix of both? Maybe Daddy Pig's mom is no longer with us, and his dad is just a grumpy old pig who lives alone on a farm on the other side of the country. He never visits because of some big falling out. That could be a really fun contrast to Mommy Pig's sweet and cheerful dad, don't you think? Now, imagine this. Grandpa Pig, on Daddy's side, hears that baby Evie has been born, and that news hits him hard. It makes him swallow his pride and decide to finally reconnect with his son. What if that's the beginning of a powerful forgiveness story? Mr. Hare. Most of the adult characters in Peppa Pig are married and have kids, but that's not the case with Miss Rabbit. If she's married, it's probably to one of her many jobs. It's actually kind of funny that Mummy Rabbit has a bunch of kids, while her sister is the workaholic single lady who doesn't seem interested in dating. But what if the hardest working woman in all of Britain finally found love? To make him stand out from Daddy Rabbit, her sister's husband, her new love interest could be Mr. Hare, an animal very similar to a rabbit. He could be a brand new guy in town who instantly falls for Miss Rabbit. To get closer to her, he starts working all of her jobs until he's completely exhausted. But hey, the plan works. It convinces Miss Rabbit to finally go on a date with him. The rest? Well, that's history. Speaking of stories, how about one that starts like this? You start getting all of our videos about your favorite cartoons. Kinda makes you want to make that story real, right? All you have to do is click that subscribe button. A Little Pig. Goldie the goldfish is the beloved pet of the pig family and has starred in some fun moments, like the time she ate so much food she turned into a round ball. But what if she stops being the only pet in the house? Now that there's a new baby girl in the family, they might decide to adopt a tougher animal to protect her since she can't defend herself yet. The most obvious choice in that case would be a puppy. But let's be honest, it would be way more fun and way funnier if they adopted a little pig. Before you say that makes no sense because they're already pigs, remember, there are signs that normal non-talking animals exist in Peppa's world. After all the characters eat meat from different species without batting an eye. So, a little piggy that doesn't talk and walks on all fours could be the perfect companion, kind of like the Goofy and Pluto situation. Goofy is a dog who acts like a person, and Pluto is his pet who acts like a regular dog. Same vibe. Camilla Cow. It's not just Mummy Sheep who might be hopping on the new baby trend like Mummy Pig. Mrs. Cow is one of the characters most likely to get pregnant next, mainly because she and Mr. Bull are one of the few couples on the show who don't have kids yet. That's because they're a newer couple who only recently started appearing in episodes. She'll probably get pregnant shortly after Mummy Pig. And actually, the reason might be that seeing little Evie inspired Mrs. Cow and Mr. Bull to take the plunge into parenthood. And that's how Camilla Cow would be born. Their daughter and a brand new member of the new generation in the Peppa Pig universe. Romeo Rabbit. Mummy Rabbit is already one of the moms with the most kids in town, maybe because rabbits are known to be super fertile. So yeah, it's not crazy to think her family might grow even more in the future. Yup, we're guessing she'll have another baby just like Mrs. Cow. And the name? The others are named Rebecca, Richard, Rosie, and Robbie. So to keep the tradition going, the new baby's name should start with an R too. How about Romeo Rabbit? We're leaving 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click on one of them if you want to keep having fun with us. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Peppa Pig is a cartoon that hasn't changed much over the last 20 years, but that all changed now that Peppa's little sister has been born. Do you know what it means when a brand new character is introduced into the pig family? It means the show's creators might be ready to bring in a whole bunch of new characters that could make the show even more amazing than it is already. Susie's little sister. Some of these new characters might be the children of familiar faces. After all, he's going to need some friends to hang out with. And who better to be her buddy than a little sister for Peppa's best friend, Susie Sheep? That would totally fit and would turn Evie into kind of a next-gen Peppa, especially since her best friend would also be a little sheep. But remember, Susie's dad has never appeared in the show. We don't know if he works far from town, if he's divorced from Mrs. Sheep, or if he has sadly passed away. Bringing in a new little sheep could be a great way to answer that mystery. If Susie's dad is just working far away, maybe he gets a new job in town and moves back home. And that's when Mrs. Sheep gets pregnant. But if he's divorced or no longer with us, then maybe the little sheep's dad is a completely new character, someone who could become Mrs. Sheep's new husband. Actually, there's another possibility. The birth of the new sheep might confirm a theory fans have been talking about for a while. One that says Susie was actually created through cloning and is a child replica of her mom, inspired by Dolly the sheep, the first mammal ever cloned in real life. That would explain how Susie was born without a dad, and her sister might come the same way. Could it be that Mrs. Sheep has a cloning machine in her basement? We can't know that for sure, yet. But what we can do is talk about the 9 new characters who might be joining the Peppa Pig universe. The King. Peppa Pig is a British series made in England, and yes, it's definitely patriotic. Not only does it reference the royal family, but Queen Elizabeth herself has appeared on the show, more than once actually. But in real life, the Queen sadly passed away in 2022, and the same thing happened in the show's universe. Peppa Pig's official account posted a tribute to her on social media, featuring an image of the Queen and Peppa together. After the tragedy, her son Charles became King Charles III. So how cool would it be if the show continued the tradition of honoring the leaders of its homeland? And what better way to do that than to have the new King of England appear in an episode? Every now and then the characters take a trip to London, and that's usually when they run into the Queen. But nowadays, if they head to the capital, they'd run into the King instead. It's a shame that Evie didn't get to meet the Queen, but the appearance of the King would still give her a chance to meet another member of the royal family, Dracula. Other characters that have popped up in the show include Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, 2 magical figures from Legends. There are several Christmas episodes, so Santa has shown up more than once. So yes, supernatural beings do exist in Peppa Pig's world, and the characters interact with them from time to time. With that in mind, it wouldn't be surprising if a Halloween episode featured one of the most famous horror characters of all time, Dracula, the King of Vampires. He's a true classic from monster stories, both in movies and books, and his appearance could totally be a part of a spooky episode, at least as spooky as a preschool cartoon can get. But the best part? Dracula could come with a plot twist. Maybe he's actually Madame Gazelle's father. Honestly, it wouldn't even be that shocking once you add up all the clues. The theory that Madame Gazelle is a vampire is pretty popular and nearly confirmed, given how many hints the show has dropped. She has no reflection in the mirror, something the narrator mentions himself. She taught Peppa's parents back when they were kids and somehow looks exactly the same age today, and more. There's also a tree next to her house that's full of bats, which reminds her of her homeland, suggesting not only that she's a vampire, but that she comes from Dracula's homeland, Transylvania. The writers behind Peppa Pig are no fools, and clearly none of this is a coincidence. So it would be absolutely brilliant if it turned out Dracula is her dad, or at least the one who turned her and her sisters into vampires. If you also believe Madame Gazelle is a creature of the night, drop a #vampire in the comments. Susie's dad. Since we're talking about Susie possibly getting a little sister in the future, we also need to talk about the chance that Susie's dad, Mr. Sheep, might finally show up. As we mentioned before, there are 3 likely reasons for his disappearance: work, divorce, or tragedy. The most hopeful option, the one that gives him the best chance of coming back, is that he just works far away to support the family. If he has a job in another country, that would explain not only why he's never around, but also something else. In one episode, Mrs. Sheep gets a job offer in another country and decides to move there with Susie. But when she loses the job, she's visibly upset. Sure, maybe it was because the job paid really well, but what if she was actually sad because the job was in the same country where her husband had moved? Maybe she just wanted the family to live together again. That plan didn't work out, but it doesn't mean the 2 lovebirds, or, well, love sheep, are done for good. Mr. Sheep could quit his current job, come back to town, and move back in with his family, and that could open the door for a bunch of episodes about this character we've never seen before. Wouldn't it be fun if he and Daddy Pig were old buddies?